Right, I think we are live. What is going on, everybody? What's up? My name is Ryan McMorris from Intentional Lifestyle, and you know what time it is. It's Friday. That means it's Seven Figure Friday, where we take someone. What's up? My name is Ryan McMorris from Intentional Lifestyle, and you know what time it is. It's Friday. There we go. All right. So, again, here's what we do on Fridays. We find somebody that's making it happen, that's doing the thing, that's making it, putting the commas in place is what we call it, the 2 Comma Club. All right, and this is my good friend, Joshua Elder. This guy is amazing at what he does. I mean, this dude just knows what to do when it comes to building an online business. He helps people from network marketers, online marketers. This guy has, he's helped businesses create millions with the strategies that he uses. So I'm telling you guys, this stuff works. This dude is amazing. I'm so pumped that he's here. I'm pumped that he's here because this dude he's just a bundle full of knowledge, and he's got an amazing beard, and you just can't do that. You know, everybody just can't grow an amazing beard and, and just be that cool. So it's not only is this dude making money, but you're cool when you're doing it, man. So guys, let me welcome, and please welcome to our show, 7 Figure Friday guest, my man, Joshua Elder. What's up, dude?
What's up, bro? I love the intro, man. By the way, I never knew that I could even grow this out, which was, it was actually exactly a year ago. I kind of attempted, I'm going to grow out a beard, and I started doing it. I started out all patchy, and I'm like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And then I gave it a couple more weeks, and I'm like, okay, my genetics are good to go. So, now it's it's been a year. It's all full, looking good.
It sounds like the process of building a business online. You're just like, I don't know if I can do it. But
it's the same thing. Exactly, man. I'm like, well, I was able to build an online business, so how can I apply this to beard growing, right?
Right. It's the same thing. It's just like, and then you're halfway through, and you're like, man, I just don't know. Maybe I should shave it. Maybe I should quit. I don't know.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Well, it's great to be on, man. I know we had a little conversation before the actual show, and just want to say, thank you for the value that you give to your followers. You're a perfect example of somebody that is always out there hustling and is all about, not about just the money. Of course, money's great, but I think you define yourself by how well you help other people. And I think that's admirable, and that's super cool, man, because it's super rare to see people actually giving real tangible value that's working today, where people can go out and execute it, and not this smoke and mirror stuff that you often see out there. So appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, dude, it's my pleasure, man. Learned a lot from you, man. So I'm definitely pumped up for what you're about to share today. But, dude, I know, for our listeners, man, I always want to tell them about your story and kind of how you got started, where you came from, you know what I mean? Because, we hype up people and we hype up success stories, but, and that's awesome, right? I mean, to know that, hey, man, it can be done. But how'd you get started, man? And was it always a smooth road for you? I mean, I know because
oh, of course, man. I just, it's luck. It's overnight success. I woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to be successful. And it just happened, right? The gods worked in my favor. No. So I always knew that I wanted to do something with my life that was impactful. I didn't know what it was, right? So we kind of start on this journey where we're like, man, I'm eager. I'm yearning to do something. I have no idea what that is, but I'm going to go out there and search for it. And I think that's kind of how most entrepreneurs start out, is they feel just this, not this push, you feel at a day job working for somebody else, but this pull to something.
Right.
Being a teenager in high school, and dude, even on the weekends, would go out with my friends. We'd go to, a buddy's house, and we'd watch a movie, and we'd kind of hang out. And I was like, this is kind of boring. I want to do something. I want to start a business. I want to go somewhere. I want to travel. I want it all right now. And so, I'm like, I would just go out on the weekends. I just didn't feel unfulfilled. And I was just super hyper aware of that. And I was like, I need to find something that I can really resonate with. I just want to build something, right? I want to build something. And that's when I think it was like 17 years old. I jumped online and I just started Googling, because Google has all the answers, right? So all you got to do is Google anything, and it's the truth. And so I just started Googling like different ways to start a business, online business, any business, start something. I just started just looking at anywhere and everywhere, gathering all this information. And I remember coming across just different emails and different web pages about how people were like making all this money on ClickBank and traveling the world and pressing a button. And I'm like, dang, I want that lifestyle. Like, that would be super cool. And so that's when I started learning about online marketing and becoming aware of it. But I was kind of just dabbling at that point. So 18 years old, I graduated from high school and I went off to college and I played baseball at Southern Utah, not the university, but Dixie State. It's a university now. Played baseball there for a year, and they didn't really offer too many degrees, but I knew I wanted to play baseball. I was either going to be a baseball player or I was going to start my own business. And I knew that a small percentage of people made it in baseball. And unfortunately, I just lost the passion for it because from age 8 to 20, like that's all I did all day, every day, weekends. I played baseball, left-handed pitcher, which was super cool. I even got scouted by the Atlanta Braves, which was awesome at spring training. So that was like just a super cool experience to get scouted and then have somebody go to your high school and watch you pitch. And of course, like, I'm this teenager and my coach is telling me, you got a scout coming to watch you. And of course, like, I couldn't handle the pressure at that point. I completely choked and I didn't do well, but still I managed to walk on at Dixie State, and I played there for a year, and then I just got burnt out. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And plus they didn't offer that many majors. It was like nursing and business. It is a small college. It's a university now. It was a small college. And so I just didn't want to go for a business degree and hope. Like, I believed in specializing, not generalizing, right? So I believe, like, if I'm going to do something, like, I want to see the end of the tunnel. I want to see the light at the end of the tunnel. With the way that the college is set up is that you never really kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to hope and pray you're going to get a job by a company that you like, and that you're going to kind of like your coworkers, that you're hopefully going to have a cool boss that hopefully cares about you more than he cares about himself. But unfortunately, like, if you work a day job, we've all probably done it at some point in our life, like, people don't really care about you. They care about themselves and maybe their family. Like, they're trying to get themselves a promotion, even as like a boss. They're not thinking about Sally over here. Like, oh man, like, I'm looking forward to giving Sally that promotion. No, they're like, how am I going to get to the next level? And it's like, it's set up for failure, and it has a ceiling. And, I knew that. I knew that in college, and I was just kind of going through the motions because everybody else was doing it. We do what everybody else does, and we don't really ask the real questions. We don't really think. Bob Proctor is one of my biggest mentors, and he said that 2% of people think, 3% of people think they think, and 95% of people, or 97% of people, would rather die than think. Or 95% of people, if I have my numbers right. I can't do math, as you can see. Yeah. I do know how to build a business. 95% of people would rather die than think. And I'm like, that is so freaking true. Because I was asking myself these questions that most of my, coworkers and most of my friends weren't asking. So what happened was I ended up coming back up to Salt Lake City, Utah. That's, of course, where I'm from. And I decided to get a job at a local jewelry store. I'm like, I'm just going to go to get a job. So me and my buddy go out and we start filling out applications at these different places. We're like, it'd be cool to dress up in a suit and tie and work in a jewelry store and just hang out all day in a nice, cool, air conditioned.
Right. Y'all are thinking like that.
Right? Like, that would be super cool because, I left some gaps out in my story, but there were summers where I did alarm cells. There was parts where I worked with my dad and did construction and laid bricks in the hot summer sun. Like, it was just crazy. And so anyways, at 21 years old, I decided to get a job at a jewelry store. And I kept actually going to school, because that was kind of my plan B. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to try this internet thing and see if I can make it work. And so that led to about 5 years of failure. By the 7th year, I finally really had big success. And, during those 5 years, that's when I actually started getting promotions, and I was actually pretty good at sales. And I'm like, I actually don't want this. And lo and behold, like, more pressure, new position. Right. And it was just stressful, man. You're like just as good as your last month. You're treated as a number. Like, your boss is nice to you when you have a good month and shitty to you when you have a bad month. And I'm like, this is bull crap. Like, I'm worth so much more than this. And that's when I really started taking online marketing seriously. I'm like, I'm going to make this work. It was always in the back of my mind. Right. But I kind of had one foot in, one foot out because of fear. I'm like, what if this happens? What if I make a fool of myself? What if I shoot videos and people think that I'm a loser and, all this negative stuff. Right. And, I started trying just all these different things. I did, man, it goes way back, buying and flipping domains. I did some eBay stuff. I did, what else did I do? Just spamming in forums. Like, I did everything. Google PPC. I joined network marketing opportunities and tried to leverage those opportunities online as I was learning online marketing, and failed at that. And it was just crazy, man. I tried everything. But then I realized, okay, 5 years went by. I didn't really have a mentor. I was ignorant. I didn't want to listen to anybody. I was like, I can figure it out on my own. Google has the answers. All I have to do is go to YouTube and type in something, and Google's going to give me everything that I need. Like, I don't need to pay for a mentor. And so, like, I wasn't willing to invest in myself, but 2, it wasn't my fault at the same time, because at that time there wasn't like tons of events going on. You couldn't hit somebody up on Facebook and just talk to them. You just couldn't. Right. And so, I kind of forgave myself for that. It was part of the journey. It's kind of like when you go to a restaurant, you've got to kind of try everything before you find out what your favorite dish is, right? Ignorance is bliss. So, like, I knew that was part of the process. And I know a lot of people in marketing, you tell them what to do and exactly how to do it, but guess what? They still got to go try everything else. It's just it's part of the journey. So if I could give somebody some advice on how to shortcut everything, it's to focus on one thing. Just do it 100%, 100%. But I know they might not resonate mostly with network marketing. They might not resonate with affiliate marketing. They might be good at their day job. I don't know. But you won't know until you try a little bit of everything. So I know that's intuitive to what a lot of people say. And it's a paradox. I would say focus on one thing, but I know most people are going to kind of they need to taste everything to find their favorite. Right. And so I had to do that. But I kept coming across search engine optimization and SEO. And, the ability, basically, in case you guys don't know, ranking websites at the top of the search engines. I remember in 2012, I'm like, cool, I'm about to quit my job. I had 80 websites ranked at the same time. So what I would do is I'd buy a domain, and I would create a WordPress site, create the whole site, add the graphics. I would write all the articles myself, or I'd go to one website and I'd rewrite the same article on the same subject. And then I'd place Google AdSense. I'd place a little pixel to where ads were placed. So when people click those ads, I would make money. Basically, that's how it would work. And then, I had about 80 of those websites ranked at one time. And I was making 80 to $100 a day, $1 per day from each website. It was kind of cool. So I'm like, cool, I just got to create more. Yeah. And then April 2012, Google had an algorithm update, and, I lost everything. Everything completely went to crap. And so again, I'm like, what am I going to do? Is this even possible to make money online? Is it possible to build a business on the internet? Right. but I was like relentless, man. Like the pain of going to a job was greater than the pain of going for my dreams. I'm like, even if it takes me 10 years to get to where I want to be, it's
Right.
better than 40 years working for somebody else. So I started looking at failure as like such a good thing, like as a blessing, like as something that was going to make me stronger and more relentless mentally. Like literally, I believe you can drop me off in India, maybe not India, but pretty much depending on where it's at in India, pretty much anywhere. And if I have an internet connection, I can make some money because of what's up here, right? And the belief systems and the know-how and the knowledge and the experiences that I've created over time. So anyways, at the end of 2012, I came across YouTube, and it was kind of funny how I did it. I was just on YouTube, just searching around for something I can't remember, but I came across this kid, and he was like an 18-year-old kid making $500 to $1,000 a day online. I'm like, okay, it's another one of those videos, but there's just a different vibe with him. I'm like, there's something different about this kid. So I decided to go through some of his training that he was offering on his YouTube video. And I kind of put the pieces together. I'm like, okay, cool. I know what I know over here combined with YouTube, 10 times easier than what I've been doing for so long.
Right.
And so I'm like, this is awesome. And so I kind of knew exactly what he was doing. Like a newbie would probably look at that and think, I kind of don't know. But me,
you were taking stuff from like your past, that
exactly.
failures, some of the successes. You were kind of taking all that and like blending it with like this one thing. So like,
right,
you had gone through all the stuff over here, then you probably would have looked at that just like everybody else, right?
Exactly. You know, it's like how you perceive everything. You can see this free training over here, which I know plenty of people have out there that could make you $1 million, but because they don't put a price tag of $1 million on it, like people are like, nah, that's nothing.
Exactly.
You know? Exactly. So like, but I saw the value because of the pain, the heartache, the blood, sweat, and tears, the constant failure that I went through. I'm like, this is it, you know? And so I took it seriously. I started implementing the training, and in about 3 months, man, I was in my first real multi-level marketing opportunity. I was bringing in 3 to 5 sales a day on autopilot without me doing anything, just setting up these little micro videos on these little micro channels. And it's contrary to what most people do. Most people are like, I'm going to build this huge channel, and then I'm going to have all this content and all this value, and I'm going to build up this tribe and the subscriber base, and I'm going to make money from AdSense and then different offers like that. And that's one way of doing it, but it actually takes more work and more effort. So this was kind of a shortcut for me where I could follow a simple script, and I could pretty much say the same thing in every single video. What I would do is I would just switch out the topic that I was talking about.
Right.
And you know, mold it to, and maybe I'd make some minor changes, but not really. And the whole purpose was to get them off of the video to my website. So I'd set up these little mini channels with like 2 or 3 videos. That's it. And some of these videos would get 12 views. Some of them would get 100. Some of them would get thousands and even hundreds of thousands of views. But I was like, if I just take consistent action and upload a video a day, then I can kind of find out what my numbers are and how much each video is worth to me. And I eventually found out that each video was making me about $200. Every time I'd upload a video, I'd make $200 here, wow, there. And it was kind of cool after 6 months.
You know that though, if you weren't tracking though, because I noticed you said like you were really tracking the things you were doing every day. So like, were you like really paying close attention to that stuff?
So what I would do is I wouldn't track different landing pages, not to get too technical, but I wouldn't do that. What I would do is I just track one landing page, but I'd have links of all the videos, and I'd have exactly where they were ranking in the search engine. And I try just different strategies on these different videos to see what videos would rank and what videos weren't. So once I found the proven strategies, then I would just rinse and repeat and scale it. And the cool thing is, like in any niche, there's hundreds of thousands of different topics that people could be talking on that are in demand, and people really haven't created videos around those specific topics.
Right. Yeah, I see that all the time. So I
Yeah.
was curious. I was curious, like you with like your marketing, like you really became like a YouTube expert. You know what I mean? So you said you found something on YouTube 2012. Like what advice would you give to somebody that's kind of up in the air about like what they want to be an expert in? Like, did you always know that you really just got like the SEO stuff? Because you know, there's people out there just like they say. I mean,
Yeah.
you say SEO to me, and I'm like, nope, let Josh do it. You know, I'm like,
Right.
I'm
Well,
like, oh, Josh.
I have somewhat of an analytical mind, but here's my belief about it. I believe that you can mold yourself to be whatever you want. If
Right,
you don't
right.
think you're a good salesman, you can trick your mind. You can use little mind hacks to make you think that you are a good salesperson. Everybody's a salesperson. That's the thing. It's how you look at it. It's how you perceive it. It's how you sell yourself on these different concepts. So at first, man, I was like, this is pretty complicated, but I'm like, how
Right,
can I take something really complex and simplify it for the everyday person, you know?
right,
And I think that's what the most successful people do is they take complex things and they simplify it. But to answer your question, I think that, it's a journey, and I think that you have to just you have to dive in head first and give yourself, like, maybe if it's 6 months, give yourself a year, give yourself a time frame. Cause that's what I did. I said,
right,
I'm going to focus on this for 1 year. And that's all I did. I made the commitment. I'm like, one opportunity, one traffic method. Cause I realized at that point that traffic was the lifeblood of anybody's business. It doesn't matter what you're promoting. If you can't
right,
get eyeballs to it, if your thing sounds like it's the best thing since sliced bread, it doesn't matter. But if you could become a
right.
master of traffic and branding, like, it's game over. So I would suggest that, that you commit yourself to be an expert. I think, yeah, you have strengths and weaknesses. And like Gary Vee says, to take what you're already good at and make it better than take your weaknesses and try to improve your weaknesses. And I can see that. But I think it's also, depending on where you're at in life, I think it's just a 100% commitment. Commit to one thing. The next thing that you see, I mean, if you're fed up and sick and tired like I was, instead of like analyzing everything, well, I'm strong at this, I don't even know what my strengths and weaknesses are, blah, blah, blah. Like, just pick one thing and dive in head first and make a year commitment and just go
Yeah,
for it. So
yeah.
that's what I would
I mean, I
suggest.
think just saying that. I mean, I remember my first time getting into network marketing, and to this day, I still remember being in the parking lot of a Wild Wings cafe, thinking, okay, I'm going to try this for 3 months, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to quit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God I didn't quit. My first check was $4, but I was like, you know what? If you move the decimal and add a comma, this could go somewhere.
Yeah.
No, that's huge advice, man, and that's awesome because I mean you've really found your niche. I mean, there's a handful of people out there that can do what you do on YouTube, and pretty impressive, man. So I noticed you said you gotten into some network marketing opportunities. You're dibbling some online stuff. I mean, for the people that are on here that are in the different positions, because there's some people on here that are, they just want to be affiliate marketers, just want to be online marketers. There's people on here, like we build a network marketing business. You know what I mean? A lot of online marketing. In your opinion, how does someone kind of fit in the two worlds that are really one world?
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a really, really good question. And the only
Right
way
now.
that I can relate it to my own story on how I came across it was I can't, like, you really have to, like I said, you really have to sell yourself on it. Like if it's affiliate marketing that you want to do, you got to sell yourself as to why you want to do it.
Right.
And I know a lot of what I'm saying is kind of a paradox, but when you think about your strengths up to this point, especially with this question, would they be used wisely towards network marketing? And are you better belly to belly right now? And you can eventually kind of slowly transition into online marketing? Or are you more of an analytical person right now that knows a little bit about online marketing, but isn't so good with belly to belly contact? And that was kind of me. Like I was kind of shy, and I don't consider myself to be the most outgoing person, but I definitely grown outside of my comfort zone and over the years. But if you're somebody that's a little bit more reserved, then online platform is the greatest way to start, man, because I think it is a different dynamic speaking to a large audience than speaking just on video. I think it's sort of the same fear, but even when I speak to a live audience, it's still different. I mean, it is easier because I've practiced, in front of video for so long. It definitely does help, but it's still very much different. It's like practicing golf and then playing the Masters. It's just completely different in that sense. But I mean, if you're somebody that is a little bit more shy, like I was when I got started, I mean, like when I shot my first video, man, I was a deer in the headlights. Like I was like, oh my gosh, what should I say? What am I going to say next? And we talked about this before we went live, that it's muscle memory. It is muscle. It's like working out at the gym. Your mind is the same way. The first time you are going to suck, my man. You are going to suck really bad. But by the 30th, 50th, 100th time, like you're going to start to improve. And by the 1000th time, you're going to be pretty dang good. And that's just the way that it rolls. I mean, still to this day, I have videos where I'm like, let's wipe the whole thing. I don't want to upload it. Like ridiculous. Let's redo it. There's audio in the background, or I made this face, or I said that thing. Let's cut this out, but you can't worry about that, because when you force yourself to do something, you get like impervious to the bad feedback from people, the haters, the failures. You're like, oh, cool. I just failed again yesterday. This is a part of the process. Cool. And you get up and you kind of just keep going, that's, yeah. So I would think about what I just said. When you're deciding whether you should start online, offline, affiliate marketing, think about your strengths, think about where you're at right now in the business. And then, I know that if you're amazing offline and you're just good with communicating and talking to people, like you're going to jump online, you're going to crush it. All you need to do is connect with somebody that knows online marketing really well, or be willing to put those technical pieces together, and you're just going to blow up. Because I've realized it's more about the branding and the message that you have and the influence that you have more than anything. Like if you have a good message and you put a video on Facebook, people are going to start just liking it and sharing it because it's good. And eventually you're going to have somebody that comes up to you or that messages you in your inbox and says, I want more information. And it's going to happen like that. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah. And it leads me to another one, because I know, and you may bounce off this one and let me know. I know when I started, I got into network marketing first, and then, kind of really failed at that, and was introduced to some online affiliate marketing and kind of skyrocketed there, built a list, and then got back into network marketing on a really high level. But I know one thing for me was when I was doing well online and affiliate stuff, I was thinking very transactionally. I got in the mindset of like, okay, transaction, where in network marketing, like you can't think transactionally, you have to think culturally, right? Because it's about, if you want to build an income there, it's truly about building a culture, not just making sales. So I know probably a bunch of people in online marketing and network marketing come to you for help. What's some advice on kind of, if someone's like, dude, that's me, I need to shift from transactional to cultural, or cultural to transactional. What's some advice you may give there? Because I know a ton of people come to you for help that are in, different, mindsets already.
Yeah, I think it's really comes down to, I think you need both at some point, or else you're just going to drop off the face of the earth and no one's going to remember that one hit wonder from 2017. So,
big time.
Yeah, what I would do is I would focus on, of course, the basics. And I feel like a broken record, but little things every day, reading the right books, listening to the right information. This is what I would do. Pick 3 books. Don't be like Tai Lopez and read a book a day. Like, you don't need that crap. People are like, I'm reading this new book. I went out to Barnes & Noble. I got 10 new books. And that's cool if you do that. That's great. But at the end of the day, I know they did a study, and like where they had a group of people that would read like 60 books a year. And then they would ask them about those books at the end of the year. They couldn't remember anything. Then there was a group of people that would read 3 books a year. And at the end of the year, they'd ask them about the books. They knew everything. So I would pick something in personal development. I'd pick something in an area where you really want to specialize in. If it's YouTube marketing, if it's online marketing, Facebook marketing, like a how-to book, I would do that. And as far as the third book, maybe I would just read like Goosebumps. No, I'm just kidding. as far as maybe a third book,
like biographies, like you like
biographies, stories of people that have attained big things. Because I think when you have more reasons as to why you can do something versus why you can't, you have those stories to refer back to every time you're going through a difficult time, and you can say, "Wait, this person did it. That person did it."
Dude, every time I'm going through something tough, I read Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, and probably it's one of the best books, dude. And I'm like, every time I'm like going through something, I want to quit. I'm like, no, Arnold did it. He can do it. I can do it too.
Exactly.
And then I'm just like, let's get to the chapter.
Dude, I read his book too. I mean, it's crazy what he was able to do. Like somebody that English was a second language, and like how he got in the film industry, and people thought he was a joke at first, and Mr. Olympia, just like all that stuff, man.
He's done like literally anything that he could possibly want to do. Like Arnold is like Mr. Olympia for like what 10 years straight. 10 years straight,
yeah. And as a matter of fact, I can't remember his name. Can't believe I can't remember his name. He just tied Arnold.
Oh, did he?
Or surpass him.
I don't know.
I can't remember his name.
I haven't kept up with Mr. Olympia in a while, but I may get back in.
My girlfriend's super into bodybuilding, and she is pulling up this video the other day, and he actually had a really, really good message, man, when he was on stage accepting the award. You have to check it out if you get a chance to.
Yeah, definitely will.
But yeah, man.
So yeah. No, I was gonna say, that's great advice. I mean, because if you and it was, ironically enough, I go through a blog post a day and make a journal entry. And ironically enough, the universe works out. My journal entry today was from Tai Lopez about reading books, right? And I'm in complete, like, I disagree with a lot of it because I'm like, dude, and he made good points though. Like, and I know he talks a lot about like, hey, I read a book a day, but he actually made good points in the blog post about bragging rights. It's not about, reading a stack of books. It's just about getting those little nuggets of information.
Exactly. I was going to say that a lot of people take what Tai Lopez says to an extreme. And that's exactly what he means by that is he will read skim through the first chapter or skim through all the pages and then read part of the first chapter and part of the last of the first chapter and do that for the rest of the chapter. And it works extremely well. If you're looking for a specific golden nugget, I think it's great.
Right.
But
because
overall,
he takes the first chapter, last chapter, and then basically decides if it's a good book. And then he goes through the table of contents really quickly and says, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this, and applies it. But he said he only does that on how-to books. So he says when he does a biography or a philosophy book, he actually doesn't do that. He actually slows down.
Exactly. And I want to add this. I'll tell you the reason why I wanted to first read a lot of books, because I wanted to say impressive sentences and talk all cool and sound awesome. But then I remember reading Russell Brunson's Expert Secrets, and inside of it, I think that's the book. I can't remember if it's that or .com Secrets. But he talks about sales, and he talks about copywriting, and he's like, when you're speaking to somebody, especially when you're selling, you got to speak at like a kindergartner to like a third grade level.
Right.
People don't care about how well you can talk and how well your grammar and punctuation is, right? It's all about the message. And if you can inject that message into their mind so they can understand it, so they can see what you see, that's what it's all about. So I'm like, cool, like, sweet, I can be me. And if I suck with my words and my sentences, whatever, you don't need that to make a lot of money, because who doesn't like making a lot of money? So I'm like, cool. then I can just study this, the right marketing strategies and learn how to sell without selling, or sell to people properly through storytelling and not being like some perfectionist or some college scholar, because at the end of the day, you don't need that. I mean, a lot of times it's like, well, I feel like I need to do this because it's an insecurity if I'm around somebody that knows more about some random subject because they're trying to be on Jeopardy and I'm trying to make money. So, so I finally became secure with that. And I'm like, you know what? It's just all about having the specialized information versus having just useless information. So I think that's a really good productivity tip for people when a lot of times they focus on the 80% that's not going to produce the 20% of the results.
Exactly. And that's huge. Yeah. And I mean, that applies in so many places in life. I mean, it's crazy. So one of the people in the chat, one of my guys, Ryan, said Phil Heath just tied for 7 straight. So
Phil Heath, nice. Phil, nice. That's so awesome, dude. So hopefully you guys saw his speech. That was such a good speech too.
Yeah. So definitely, guys, go look. I know I will. So go look up Phil Heath's speech after we wrap up. So one big question that I know a lot of people can get some heavy value from this one, because you do a lot on YouTube, but I know you pulled back a little bit with your Facebook stuff. So the person that's doing Facebook Live videos, because they are easier. All you gotta do is press play and you go. But wants to repurpose their videos on YouTube, knowing how YouTube works, like YouTube likes edited video. YouTube likes longevity of watching the video. What are some pieces of advice you would give to someone that's saying, hey, I want to repurpose my Facebook Live and use it on YouTube to where it can do more for me and is searchable?
I'd first say this: it's all about the quality of information more so than the quality of the video. Now, you don't want to look like you're in the bat cave, right? You want to make sure you got some good lighting on you and all that good stuff. But don't become such a perfectionist about how the video looks, because I used to be that way. Focus more on the content. What I would recommend that you do in your Facebook Lives is say, hey, if you're on YouTube right now, right? Or if you're watching the recording on YouTube, make sure that you give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, right? Don't forget to give me a comment below. Just those little things to get interaction, because interaction is what's going to help you rank higher in YouTube search engine. So I definitely they are moving more towards, of course, they've always been a social media site, but they're kind of doing the same thing as Facebook, less on SEO optimization and more on likes and comments and shares and subscribes and how long somebody's watching a video for.
Okay. So you're saying if you're doing a Facebook Live video, in your head, in the intro, at least be thinking, hey, because I mean, if you're doing a Facebook Live video anyway, that more people are going to watch it, the recorded part on Facebook. So just say, hey, if you're watching the replay, or if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to comment and like and subscribe.
Exactly. Also what I would do is think about the topic that you're thinking about talking on. What you can do is you go to YouTube and you can start typing in the topic. Google does this too. It's YouTube and search. It'll finish the sentence for you. That shows that topic is popular. People are searching for it. This is like the fastest way to success with YouTube. If you really want to get started the right way, find topics that are in high demand, supply and demand, basic economics, right? So, find topics that are in high demand and then formulate videos around those. Go live on Facebook and then repurpose that same topic on YouTube. And guess what? Now you just killed 2 birds with 1 stone. And include your calls to action, include your, like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you've got a link, maybe a free ebook that you're giving away, make sure you share that in the comments below. So just having those little things will allow you to make your video evergreen and all that good stuff. So that's what I would suggest. So you
don't necessarily have to take the Facebook Live video and edit it. Just do the Facebook Live video with a little more YouTube purpose.
Exactly. Yep. Perfect. Exactly. You don't need to necessarily edit it. You don't need to. I mean, there's a concept. You can do jump cuts, and I do those a little bit in my videos. And here's some advice. Like I was like, what should I do? Should I script or should I outline? And I think that's at least a big problem that I faced. Was like, okay, I need to make sure I cover this, this, and this, and this. And if I don't, my video is not good enough. But people don't remember what you didn't say, right? People don't remember what you didn't say. And that's huge. So just remember that. There's probably, I'm going to look back on this and I'm like, man, I should.
That's something that I continuously have to remind myself. I'm like, I'm like, damn shit. Like I didn't go over that, but like they don't know that you didn't go over that. Right. And so
exactly, they have no idea. So yeah, man, don't worry about that. So anyways, like scripting and outlining, it depends on how you get started. I'm like, I got to force myself just to get started. So the best thing I could do is just put the camera up and start talking. Like, I didn't know what I was going to say. I'm like, here's a topic. Let's see what I can come up with.
All right, let's go.
And I was just, let's just go. And that's how I got started. And then what I did is like the beginning of this year, I actually started scripting some of my videos. And I'm like, this sounds so robotic and ridiculous. Like I hate it. And I did it on a couple, as a matter of fact, on the homepage, I scripted that video. And I still think it's like, man, it could be better. A lot of people won't notice. But I'm like, let me outline. Let's be like, okay, here's the intro, here's the outro, and here's the content. Let me bullet point the content and then get on video and go through it. So I got pretty good at like memory recall and just kind of remembering things. So outlining works so much better for me because of the way that I got started, because I freestyled for so long. And yeah, I was regurgitating a lot of the same stuff because that's how my videos were structured. Then I grew out of that to actually having some good quality content that I structured. So you can get started with just following one simple script and regurgitating the same thing with a different topic. If you do it the right way, and you can get some sales coming in, and then you can start to create better quality of content. And that's what I've done in the past year. Cause I'm like, I need to give my followers more, because those videos that I was creating was just the sole purpose was traffic generation. I want to generate traffic, give a little bit of content, get straight to the call to action and get people to my website. So you really got to think about like, what's the purpose and intention of your video? Yeah. If you want to drive traffic, I'm like, traffic is the lifeblood of my business. So for 2 years straight, that's all I did. Traffic generation, not a whole lot of value. I let the system give the value. And so as I grew with the system and I grew with personal development, then I started, teaching people and doing all that good stuff. So
awesome, man. That's big stuff. So wrapping up, man, I want to cover one more thing, and if you do want to take some questions from the I'd
love crowd, to,
yeah. But one more thing that I definitely want to cover, habits. Over the last, you've been in this industry for what, like 10 years, 12 years, something?
No, well, I like struggling or successfully. I love that question, man. So I've only been doing this successfully for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years, October 14th. It'll be exactly 3 years. I've been job free doing this successfully. But in the industry, about 10 years, like dabbling and screwing off. But I hate to tell people that because it's like, oh my gosh, this guy has 10 years of experience. Yeah, I do, but I have 3 years of successful experiences. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's important to know. I mean, we look at stuff and like, hey, yeah, dude, I mean, I coughed and sneezed and I got here, it's like,
yeah.
So in terms of habits, like, what are some habits that you got rid of? What are some of your habits now? Like, what's your morning routine? Like, in terms of like good habits, bad habits, because I truly believe that your level of success is your bundle of habits. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's your habits. So
it's habits on that. Yeah. So what would my advice be?
Bad ones and good ones, and what are the things that you do now that really got you
going? I have a calendar and I wrote down 3 things I need to do every day, and let's hope I can remember them because I got my calendar. Actually, it's over here. I ripped on August. Well, I looked at it for so long and it just became second nature. Right. But basically what I do is I first focus on personal development. I focus on traffic generation, and I focus on relationship building every single day. I know that if I focus on those 3 things, then I'm going to win every single day. So I'll get up and think, okay, what can I study? Even if it's a little short YouTube clip to get me in state, right? It's one of the things that Tony Robbins talks about, like get in state. If you have a crappy video, a lot of times it's not because you suck, it's because you're not in the state. You're not in the right state. You're not in the right flow. And I would suggest if you have shot the same video over and over again and you keep failing, like quit for a couple hours or quit for a day and come back and do it again. You'll just naturally get better at it. So personal development first. Second, traffic generation. Grant Cardone says, where's my money? Like, where's my traffic? Like, where's my traffic? Is it on YouTube? Is it on Facebook? Where can I get traffic today? And where can I get leveraged traffic? I made a comment on Facebook today about Facebook being a cesspool of people promoting the same stuff to each other. And like most newbies, that's what they're doing, is they're promoting the same stuff to each other because it's easy to do that on Facebook. It's free method. But I look at YouTube as a different free method because you got to get on video. You got to learn some SEO skills. You got to learn a little bit of influence skills. And so a lot of people aren't willing to do that. But that has leverage because you upload a video once and it pays you for life. It's super cool in that sense. So I would focus on traffic, do one traffic generation strategy with leverage every single day. Yeah, you can focus on the other stuff if you're new and you just need those first few results. But I always say do the hardest thing first, because that's the thing that most people aren't willing to do. And if you're willing to do it, then you have a leg up from the get-go. So traffic generation, whether it's paid traffic, free traffic, of course, I'm biased. I'd say YouTube free traffic, even YouTube paid traffic if you're willing to learn that, or even Facebook ads. So that would be my second thing, is traffic. And the third thing, what is my third thing? I said personal development. Oh, relationship building. So value, like videos like these, giving people, emailing your list every single day with, hey, I got some value from you. I got some value for you. I want to share something with you. So just focusing on your current followers on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever they're hanging out, Facebook groups, give them value. And then eventually what they'll do is they'll buy your product. So, and they'll turn into hot buyers. So.
Do you have like a personal development routine? Like, do you wake up and like, do you do affirmations, or do you like read first?
Funny. I do a lot of thinking. I don't do like affirmations. I've tried journaling, but I'll journal and then I'll kind of quit. So I'll come back to like back and forth. I would recommend doing that, but it's all about finding what works for you at the end of the day. Right. Once you find information from all these people, they contradict each other. And then you're like, okay, this person is an expert in his mind. This person is an expert, but I got to find out. I'm going to take these and I'm going to find out what works for me. And that's what I did. Is some days I'll do that, but mostly I'll like make sure that I have a glass of my secret water. I'm laughing, but like my Kangen water, I absolutely love it. I'm just like being brutally honest.
It's good stuff. I mean, I think
stuff works. Yeah. By the way, I'm not promoting it. I want to let everybody know that, but I'll have my water. I absolutely love my water. I'll have 2 glasses of water, and then I'll typically do a little bit of light reading for like 15, 20 minutes. And then, usually what I should be doing, this is what I would recommend doing, guys. This is what I've become better at doing that I didn't do in the past, is getting the blood pumping, get to the gym, go for a run, go for a walk, get outside, do something, and then come to your computer. But sometimes I still will come to my computer and then go to the gym.
It's an itch, right? You got that itch.
I know that I'm going to do it. I know that I'm going to get it done. I know I'm going to get it done the way that I want it to. But I am in a better state, and I am more present when I go to the gym first and do some cardio, do some weightlifting, and then come back home and then work. So then I'll work for a couple hours. I'll send out a couple emails. Maybe I'll upload a video. Maybe I'll optimize a campaign, a paid campaign, and I'll do that. And then pretty much my day's done, and I can do more studying. I can go on a hike with my girlfriend, go to a movie, help people, whatever it is.
I know you got a course you're working on too.
Yeah.
What are you working on You got a YouTube course coming out or what?
Yeah,
What you
I
got?
just launched a course. It's called Tube Traffic Selling System.
Okay.
And I love it because it teaches veteran marketers as well as newbies how to start and grow their business on YouTube with just their smartphone. So it's super cool. It's completely different than what everybody else is doing. And it really, truly is. And I've seen the competition. Most people are like, well, you got to build up this whole YouTube channel. You got to do all this different stuff. And their methodologies work. But I like the idea of being able to get people from point A to making money as quickly as possible. Now, of course, it's not some like press a button and upload one video and you're just like rich, but it potentially can generate you some good income fairly quickly because of the way that I structure it and I set it up. So
where can we find that out? Where can we find that?
You can go to tubetrafficsellingsystem.com and you can get access to a free ebook.
Nice.
Which is my Tube Traffic Selling Secrets. And it outlines a lot of good stuff on how to start. It goes into SEO details, format of your videos, watermarks, optimizing all that cool stuff. So you can go there and get free access to it. So
I like it. Yeah. So tubetrafficsellingsystem.com.
tubetrafficsellingsystem.com. Yep.
Perfect.
That's right. Perfect. I was going to say secrets, but it is system. So that's
the go there. Definitely go there today. Grab that ebook. Hell, grab the course if you're feeling risky and froggy and leaping. Let's do it because the guy knows what he's doing. And like you just said, he wants to get you from point A to point B, making money quick. So one question here that I saw Evelyn asked: what has had the greatest impact on the results you have in your business, and why?
The greatest impact on my results is never quitting. Like there's been so many times where I'm like, this campaign's not working. And like just something in the back of my mind's like, keep going. It's cool. Keep going. You're going to hit it. It's knowing it. It's building the belief system to the point where you are relentless. There's a book called Relentless, and it's all about Michael Jordan and his coach and how he coached Michael Jordan. It is amazing. And I'm like, that's the one thing that's got me to where I'm at is I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I am absolutely relentless and I never quit. Like if I lose a campaign, I don't care how many failed webinars I have. I don't care how many failed campaigns I have. I don't care how many failed videos I have. Like I won't quit. I've made that decision. I don't care if I like lose everything. I'm not quitting. I'm going to keep going. No matter what. And I think just like, I don't know, that gives me a sense of security knowing that you can take on anything and just know that you're never going to quit no matter what somebody throws at you. I don't know where I got it from. I think I got it from my dad. He's just like that way. I remember seeing him wake up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning to go do tile work and set tile and eat up dust every day. And I experienced it with him too as well for a couple of years. And so just like seeing that, he taught me just, and I think maybe part of it's genetics. I don't even know about that. I'm still trying to learn that because I got people in my family that are completely different than I am. And I'm like, what made me the way that I am? And I think it's like, I was just so observant of everything that happens in my life, just super hyper aware, but it really comes down to like getting back up every time I fall. And I've had tons and tons and tons of mistakes, but I look at things now like, what can I learn from that? What's like a cool thing that will come out of this? Because every failure has given me clarity, whether it's a $10,000 lost campaign, like I learned something cool from it.
Right.
And like, it's helped me just become stronger mentally and help me grow. And that feels cool. Like that just feels cool to have that.
And that's so amazing that you touch on the feeling of it, because I think that's where the growth is. It's the feeling that's created inside when like, I mean, and talk about like, there's no pressure on your shoulders when that, like, I'm not going to quit. Like just taking that pressure off your back can do so much for your peace of mind. And you probably read the book, No Excuses, right? By Brian Tracy. And, he talks so much about how powerful peace of mind is. And you all of a sudden you say, you know what? I just know I'm not going to quit no matter what. You just got that monkey off your back. And, what can you do now?
Yeah, man, it's amazing. It really is. It really is. So I hope people on this got like a ton of value from it. I really, really do. Thank you so much, man, for letting me speak to your crowd. I appreciate it so much. You'll let me know if I can ever serve you again, man.
Yeah, man, we'll definitely do. Thank you so much for hopping on, guys. Be sure to find Josh, find him on Facebook before he gets off. All right, because he's probably going to be out, chopping down trees and doing all sorts of cool beard stuff. But find him today.
I got to go pick up my flannel shirt from the dry cleaner.
No, guys, find him today. Say thank you. Shoot him a really cool GIF or something. Like, give him a big virtual hug. Be sure to go to his site and grab that ebook. Okay. So Tube Traffic, Tube Traffic Secrets?
I know it's too long, isn't it? Tube Traffic Selling System. TubeTrafficSellingSystem.com.
Tube Traffic.
You want to spell it?
System.com. If anybody wants to put it in the comment section, put it in the comment section. That way everybody can go grab it. I know I'm going to go grab it. So if you don't go grab it and you see me crushing it on YouTube, then that's your fault. All right. But I appreciate you being on here today, man. Much love to you, dude. So much gratitude.
Thank you, my man.
And hey, man, you guys have an amazing weekend. This has been another episode of 7-Figure Friday, #7-Figure Friday. Feel free to go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel if you want the other episodes of 7-Figure Friday. And we'll see you guys next Friday, where we'll have another 7-figure earner on here, crushing it just like my man, Josh. See you later, guys.
Take care, guys. Peace.